Imagine a whisper from the deep, a voice older than time, calling your name from a city that shouldn't exist. Its golden spires pierce the ocean's heart, its secrets guarded by waves that devour the curious. Atlantis beckons, a riddle carved in the bones of the earth, daring you to unravel it. Will you answer its call, or let its truth slip into the abyss forever? Welcome to Vault 33, the Black Archives, your portal to the forbidden truths, ancient mysteries, and government cover-ups they don't want you to uncover. I'm your guide into the shadows, where we peel back the layers of history to reveal what lies beneath. Today, we dive into the abyss of the great city of Atlantis, a legend born from the words of an ancient philosopher, twisted by time, and weaponized by those who seek to control the narrative. From mainstream science to the darkest corners of conspiracy, we'll explore every theory, every claim, and every secret. The truth is out there, but it's not what it seems. Let's begin. The story of Atlantis begins with Plato, the Greek philosopher, who, around 360 BCE, described a utopian empire in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. He spoke of a vast island, larger than Libya and Asia combined, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, modern-day Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis was a marvel, a city of concentric island, moats, and canals, adorned with gold, silver, and a mysterious metal called orichalcum. Its people were wealthy, its military unmatched, and its architecture divine, built by Poseidon himself for his mortal love, Plato. But hubris corrupted them. The gods, enraged by their moral decay, unleashed a cataclysm, earthquakes and floods, that sank Atlantis into the sea in a single night, around 9600 BCE. Plato claimed this tale came from Egyptian priests via Solon, one of Athens' sages. But was it history or an allegory for human folly? Mainstream scientists lean heavily toward fiction. James Romm, a classics professor at Bard College, argues Plato crafted Atlantis to illustrate his philosophical ideas about ideal societies and the dangers of greed. Archaeologist Ken Feder, in his book Encyclopedia of Dubious Archaeology, points out that plate tectonics make a sunken continent in the Atlantic impossible. The seafloor spreads, not contracts, leaving no room for a lost landmass. Ocean explorer Robert Ballard, who found the Titanic, dismisses Atlantis as a fable, noting no Nobel laureates support its existence. The consensus? Plato's story is a moral tale, not a historical record. No artifacts, no ruins, no proof. Yet, the absence of evidence hasn't silenced the seekers. Countless theories place Atlantis across the globe, each backed by fervent believers and tantalizing clues. One prominent hypothesis links Atlantis to the Minoan civilization on Crete and Thera, modern Santorini. Around 1600 BCE, a massive volcanic eruption rocked Thera, triggering tsunamis that devastated Minoan cities. Historians suggest this cataclysm, one of the largest in human history, could have inspired Plato's tale. Excavations in 1967 by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution uncovered a Minoan city buried under volcanic ash, fueling speculation. But skeptics argue the timeline doesn't match. Plato's 9600 BCE is far earlier than the Minoan collapse. Another theory points to the Mediterranean. In 2004, Robert Sarmast claimed sonar data from the Cyprus Basin revealed man-made structures, matching Plato's descriptions. But geologists, like Dr. C. Hübscher from the University of Hamburg, debunked this, showing the features were natural formations caused by salt tectonics and mud volcanism. Similarly, Spanish scientists dismissed claims by Richard Freund, who linked Atlantis to Tartessos in Doñana National Park, calling his interpretations fanciful. The Tartessos theory, first proposed by Adolf Schulten in the 1920s, suggests this trading hub inspired Plato, but no definitive evidence supports it. Then there's the Bahamas and the Bermuda Triangle. In the 1970s, Charles Berlitz, inspired by Ignatius Donnelly's 1882 book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, claimed Atlantis lay off Bimini, where underwater structures dubbed Bimini Road were found. Conspiracy theorists link these to the triangle's mysterious disappearances, with some, like Dr. Meyer Verlag, in a 2012 report, claiming a crystal pyramid powers the region's anomalies. Scientists counter that Bimini Road is natural limestone, and no credible evidence supports the pyramid's existence. Charles Hapgood's 1958 theory, endorsed by Albert Einstein, places Atlantis in Antarctica. He argued a crustal shift 12,000 years ago moved a temperate continent south, freezing its advanced civilization. In 2016, conspiracists claimed snow-capped pyramids in Antarctica were Atlantean, but geologists attribute these to glacial formations. The theory persists, despite plate tectonics ruling out such a shift. Other locations abound. The Rishat structure in Mauritania, dubbed the Eye of the Sahara, is a favorite among modern theorists like Jimmy Corsetti, who claims its concentric rings match Plato's description. Posts on X argue it aligns with the Younger Dryas climate catastrophe 11,600 years ago, when sea levels rose dramatically. But archaeologists, like Flint Dibble, dismiss this, citing no evidence of human habitation. The Black Sea, Ireland, the Azores, even Sweden and Tunisia have been proposed, each with passionate advocates, but no archaeological backing. Now, let's plunge into the conspiracies. Ignatius Donnelly, a 19th-century congressman, ignited modern Atlantis fever with his diffusionist theory. Atlantis was the cradle of all civilizations, its survivors seeding Egypt, Mesoamerica, and beyond. His ideas, echoed by Madame Blavatsky and psychic Edgar Cayce, who claimed Atlanteans used crystal technology, veer into the paranormal. Cayce's visions of a high-tech Atlantis in the 1920s inspired New Age beliefs, while Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine described Atlanteans as giants with electricity. These ideas fuel claims of suppressed knowledge. Why else would no artifact surface? Graham Hancock, star of Netflix's Ancient Apocalypse, takes it further. He argues Atlantis was a global civilization destroyed by a meteor-induced tsunami during the Younger Dryas, its survivors spreading advanced knowledge. Hancock accuses archaeologists of a cover-up, claiming they're defensive and arrogant to protect their narrative. Flint Dibble counters that Hancock's claims lack evidence and promote race science, crediting white or alien survivors over indigenous cultures. This ties Atlantis to darker conspiracies, with Nazis like Heinrich Himmler reportedly seeking it to prove Aryan superiority. Social anthropologist Benny Pizer calls such theories bogus, yet their allure persists in far-right and conspiritual circles. Some conspiracies go cosmic. Posts on X claim Atlantis was multidimensional, its remnants in the Azores an energetic hotspot. Others, like Agent Mock, allege Anunnaki aliens collapsed Atlantis with weaponized crystals around 10,500 BCE. These echo tales of Atlanteans building Egypt's pyramids or fleeing to South America, where Spanish conquistadors mistook sophisticated native cities for Atlantean colonies. No evidence supports these, but the lack of proof is the conspiracy's fuel. Believers argue governments or elites hide the truth to control history. Why does Atlantis endure? Its story taps into our fascination with lost utopias and cataclysmic warnings. Plato's allegory of hubris resonates, but the conspiracies, alien intervention, global cover-ups, white supremacist origins, thrive in times of distrust. Archaeologist Steveni Mulder notes pseudo-archaeology's rise, with 57% of Americans in 2018 believing Atlantis existed, up from 40% in 2016. Social media and shows like Ancient Aliens amplify these ideas, blending myth with misinformation. The truth? No Atlantean artifacts have been found. Geology contradicts a sunken continent. Yet, the Minoan collapse, the Younger Dryas floods, and underwater anomalies keep the mystery alive. Is Atlantis a cautionary tale, a lost history, or a deliberate distraction? The vault holds no answers, only questions. What do you believe? This is Vault 33, the Black Archives, where the shadows speak and the truth is never certain. If this journey into Atlantis sparked your curiosity, subscribe, share, and join us next time as we unlock another secret they've buried. The archives are calling. Are you listening? Until next time, stay awake.